Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2012 stop-motion animated feature film ParaNorman. This film was ahead of its time. This came out 8 years ago, August 2012. I remember seeing it with my mom, my brother, two friends of ours. It was incredible watching it in the theaters because it just took me by surprise. This had one of the supporting main teenage characters in the story, is gay. It talks about death. This is rated PG. This is a heavy, deep film. It talks about death. Talks about doing evil things. Talks about becoming the monster everyone thinks you are, being a freak, being an outcast, wanting to be normal. Are you normal? What should you do with the abilities you have? Everything. So this takes place in Blythe Hollow, Massachusetts, where there was a witch trials. During the witch trials that there were, there's a witch's curse upon the town that every year the keeper of the book has to read the story to where the witch is buried, so that way she doesn't rise and release the curse amongst the zombies of the town folk and the judge that accused her of witchcraft way back when. So as Norman, who is psychic, so he can see, the dead. But they never use that P word. They never use the psychic word. They don't use the medium word. All they say is Norman can see the dead. Incredible, fast-paced, but 97 minutes long, something like that. 101 minutes long. I don't remember. It's quick. Norman is an outcast, and he meets this friend, Neil, who is also an outcast in school. Middle school, give or take. And so Norman's uncle is the current keeper of the book, and then he passes away. His ghost tells Norman to get the book, but and then inadvertently the school bully happens to get dragged into the story as well. Neil's brother is Mitch. Courtney is Norman's older sister, so Courtney likes Mitch, but Mitch has a boyfriend, so that's a funny little twist at the end. So all of them band together, including Alvin, voiced by Christopher Mintz-Plasse, and Anna Kendrick is the voice of Courtney, and Casey Affleck is the voice of Mitch. So there's a lot of great voice actors. Leslie Mann is Norman's mom, and Jeff Glafflin is Norman's dad. So the town of Blythe Hollow is in the midst of celebrating the anniversary of the hanging of the witch. And again, dark, talking about murder and death and false accusations, etc. So it turns out that the witch isn't a gangly old woman. It was a kid who was just playing in the woods with fire, but she could also talk to dead people. So the townsfolk at the time assumed she was practicing witchcraft. So she eventually, after her death, became the monster that she was always portrayed to be. And so the only way to keep her at bay, to keep the witch's curse at bay, was to read her a bedtime story so she would sleep for a year until the anniversary of her death again. But yeah, so the zombies get out, and Norman has to face against Agatha, who's the witch, who's the girl. He talks to her, she talks to him. There's a massive electrified fight scene at the end. Incredible yellow lightning through the veil and all these different things. And Aggie finally realizes that she can cross over, she can be with her mom, that Norman did save the day, and it was a matter of don't just assume that someone is evil just because you have that mindset that they're doing evil things when they're not actually doing evil things. Aggie wasn't actually a witch, so just because you see her being weird doesn't mean she's actually evil, right? So it's that whole false accusation, don't judge a book by its cover kind of a thing. I love this movie. It's a spooky movie, it's creepy, it's got an 80s synth sound through it, it's very artsy. Very artsy. It's a very indie artsy film. Never became the blockbuster because this was ahead of its time. This was way ahead of its time. I love this movie, and not a lot of people talk about this movie, so everyone needs to check it out. ParaNorman. ParaNorman. The kid's name is Norman, so it's not paranormal, but it's ParaNorman. Get it? Wordplay, and they actually wordplay his name, ParaNorman, in the show, in the movie. I was very excited to see it, but yeah, happy spooky season, one and all. Mucho mahalo.